What's up, McMovers? Once again, another installment. I want to talk to you about something that I think we all should be serious about. You ready for it? Here it is. When you're making moves, when you're impacting where you are, doors will open for you. Great opportunities will come your way. You will be offered opportunities to go from point A to point B to point C and beyond. You will see people wanting to invite you to come be a part of what they're doing. But I want to say something to you that I think is so important, and you must remember this. Let me first say to you that make movers are not just C-suite individuals. Make movers are people who are working administrative jobs, janitorial jobs, people who are lay members at church. If you are striving towards your goals, if you are positioning and pursuing your vision board, if you're the person trying to be the first in the generation of your family to do anything, you're a make mover. It's not based on the title you have or the car you drive or anything like that. No. Make movers are people who have made a commitment. They're going to make moves and not announcements. That's all of us at some point or another. And so if that's you, let me tell you this. Transition well. You heard me. Transition well. Now, what does that mean? In my professional career, I've been very fortunate to mentor a lot of people, supervise a lot of people, see people graduate in their careers. And I try my best to be an encourager, to be a cheerleader for them. I try to tell my mentees all the time, I don't want anything from you, but I want everything for you. I sincerely mean that. If they don't mention my name in an award ceremony, I'm not discouraged. I'm not disappointed. I am celebrating them because of their achievements. But I also want them to understand they must transition well. Now, what does that mean? You should never leave from where you're coming from to where you're going without leaving where you're coming from better from when you got there. You shouldn't just up and just walk away without really putting things in place. Not just a 2-week notice. I'm talking about making sure that you properly handle the closing of the door, that you make sure that you properly handle the moment, that you make sure that you give your thanks to those who contributed to you and supported you. Make sure that you help somebody else transition into the position that you are leaving behind. Make sure that when you leave in such a manner that if you ever had to come back, they want you back versus blocking you from coming back. Transition well. People must get beyond the point of thinking that they're irreplaceable. There is always someone, somewhere, who can take your position. But when you transition well, guess what happens? You are not threatened by someone who succeeds you because you help pave the way. You help them transition in smoothly. When you leave one job to go to another job, you want to make sure the job that you're leaving, you left it in better hands than how you received it. You know, when you get a rental car, no matter what company it is, it could be Hertz, could be Avis, could be Enterprise, et cetera, et cetera. The one thing they try to encourage you to do is fill the tank back up when you return the vehicle. And they'll even ask you, do you plan on filling the tank back up? And they give you options. You can not fill it back up and pay an extra fee on the front end. You can fill it back up and not worry about being penalized on the back end. They give you options. If you get in a car and that car is on F, meaning it's on full, when you return that car, that is an expectation that car will also return on F or full. And when you return that car and go back to the checkout counter to give them the keys and the mileage, they usually ask you this question. Did you fill the tank up? And if you say yes, they say thank you. They take you at your word. If you say no, oftentimes they're going to hit you with a financial penalty because it was required of you to fill up the tank. Why am I saying that to you? Because you want to make sure that you return that rental car in equal, if not better condition than how you received it. It doesn't just work with rental cars. It works in your professional life as well. You want to make sure that wherever you're leaving, that when you transition out, you leave it better than you received it. They should not begrudge you. They should be so saddened by you leaving because of how you handled the place and handled the responsibility and handled the position that they know no one can fill your shoes. I'm fortunate that every employer I ever had when I was in public sector have all said they would hire me back with no hesitation. It's a great compliment. It's a great compliment. You may think it's egotistical. I'm not trying to be, but it's a great compliment because it lets me know that I handled that moment well. I transitioned well. I didn't leave there in a manner by which I left chaos and confusion, but no, I left in a manner that whomever succeeded me was able to transition so smoothly because I transitioned out so well. No one wants you hovering when you say you're leaving. But when you do leave something behind for the person who steps in. They are already intimidated by the new opportunity. So you can help them out by positioning them well to succeed. Don't say you're a move. Don't say you're a move maker, that you make moves if you are leaving places worse than how you receive them. And even if you did receive it in a bad manner, it gives you no excuse. It gives me no excuse for maintaining that poor performance. Think about what you would expect when you enter into a new place and give your successor better than what your predecessor gave you. Transition well. Do right by the moment and by the opportunity because you never know when it's going to be your turn to transition in. And you want the person who you're going to succeed to transition well. Think about it. We always make moves, but when we do that, make sure our name, our character, and reputation is so cemented they'll say, man, sure missed that person. That should be you. That should be me. Remember now, make moves, not announcements. Be good to yourself.